Hey guys, I'm out in the garden picking a few things. I got some Blue Lake pole beans, and this is a black cream tomato. I want to talk about flowers in the garden. So what is the importance of flowers in the garden? There's two main important things. One, it attracts pollinators, and it gives the pollinators a food source so that they can pollinate your vegetables and your fruits. And two, it actually can confuse the insects that want to come eat your vegetables and make it hard for them to recognize a food source. So for instance, first of all, let's talk about this African basil right here. This is one of the very, very best pollinator plants. It produces flowers continuously. It's a very unique basil in that when it goes to flower, it does not stop producing. So in other words, when it goes to flower, a lot of times basil, you have to keep it deadheaded, because if it goes to flower, then the plant stops growing well. So this is one that will continually go to flower. It's very, very easy to propagate and spread throughout your garden. So you can see I have it in different places. I even have it at the edges of my property, and attracts the pollinators. The seeds are sterile. So that's unique. The seeds, you cannot take the seeds and plant a plant. So you have to buy or find somebody who's willing to give you some plants, a plant, or even just a piece of a plant, and then you have to grow it out yourself. So Whitwam Organics in Tampa, online, that's where I got my first one. So I ordered it for $3.75 plus shipping. He sent me a little tiny sprig, and now it's growing all over my garden, and I give it away to anybody who walks into my garden. I give them a piece. So easy to propagate. Okay, so we want to bring in pollinators, and the reason why we want to bring in pollinators is because when you have plants that are giving you fruit, so they make a flower and the flower turns into a fruit, sometimes there's not enough flowers on that plant, like zucchini, to attract in the pollinators. So you want to have all sorts of plants that the pollinators will enjoy growing nearby. So here's a marigold growing in this tower garden, and it's going to attract the bees. The bees are going to come and they're going to pollinate my zucchini. They're going to pollinate my poha berry. They're going to pollinate my cucumbers. So I do have a variety of flowers, because you don't want to just attract one type of bee. You want to provide flowers for all the different species of native pollinators, wasps. So you want to have flowers that are different sizes, different colors. Okay, so that's the first thing it does, and it's absolutely essential that if you want to have a good garden, that you have flowers. So the second thing is that the flowers, this a very, very fragrant scent from the marigolds especially, will actually confuse the plants, the insects that will eat your plants. So especially in the tower garden, when this scent actually gets into the water, and the roots have this scent, and the whole tower has this scent, and the insects come along and they go, oh, all I smell is marigold. I don't like marigold. I don't even smell the cucumber. So I'm not even gonna stop here. So, it works great, not 100%. You still do need to, do your usual pest control methods and scout and spray off with water, and, use the neem and the soap if you use that. But it absolutely helps. Now look so here's this basil here. This basil, this is a regular Genovese basil. I'm not gonna let this one go to flower because it will stop. It won't taste good anymore. But once it goes to flower, I need to replant it. So that's the difference between like a Genovese basil and the African basil. Look over there. There's a huge plant of it. So lemongrass is another plant that will scent your water in your tower garden, and provide some confusion for preventing the insects. Can't wait for this tomato. These two tomatoes to turn ripe. So something like a poha berry, they're wonderful. They need to be pollinated. I don't have any flowers on here right now. Oh yeah, look how tiny the flowers are. Let's see if we can show you this. The little, can you see this? I can't, oh yeah, there we go. Little tiny flower. So, you know, that is going to be pollinated by a very specific type of bee that you like, the sweat bees, the little green sweat bees. So you need to have flowers that are small too that attract the sweat bees. So you definitely want flowers in your garden. You want to be providing, you want to be providing that scent to your plants, and you want to be bringing in the insects that pollinate the plants. And now remember, if you're going to be growing in like a pool deck where you don't have flower, you don't have pollinators, then you need to talk to me and we'll talk about specific plants that you can grow without pollinators. But for an outside garden, let your broccoli go to flower, plant different flowers, plant marigolds, get some African basil. If you live near me, stop by, I'll give you a piece of it. All right, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.